Good afternoon. I'm Dedrick Russell in for John Carter. Thanks for joining us. On the 11th anniversary of those terrorist attacks, the Star-Spangled Banner kicked off an emotional ceremony in New York City. It was a different ceremony this year, one that didn't include comments from politicians and focused completely on the victims. Randall Pinkston was there and has this story.
The bell rang at exactly the moment when the first plane hit the Twin Towers 11 years ago. Then again 17 minutes later for the second plane.
We love him. See you so much.
In brilliant sunshine, so similar to that day 11 years ago, family members grieved over the names of the victims.
Edward DeSimone III.
And left behind tokens of love. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, New York.
2,600 people died in the attacks on the World Trade Center. At the White House this morning, the President and First Lady observed a moment of silence at 8:46, the same time the first plane struck the World Trade Center. The President then attended a ceremony at the Pentagon where 125 people were killed on 9/11. Mr. Obama placed a wreath on a metal stand at 9:37 when a plane struck the building. He said the tragedy brought our nation closer together.
When the history books are written, the true legacy of 9/11 will not be one of fear or hate or division. It will be a safer world, a stronger nation, and a people more united than ever before.
Later this afternoon, the President will visit wounded soldiers and their families at Walter Reed Medical Center. Republican presidential nominee Mitt Romney thanked firefighters for their service in Chicago this morning. Romney released a statement saying the U.S. will never forget those who died and those who will never stop caring for their families. He also thanked U.S. troops and warned terrorists America is united in its determination to win the war on terror. Over in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, Vice President Joe Biden paid tribute to those who died when a hijacked plane went down in an open field 11 years ago. Scores of people arrived before dawn to mark the anniversary. The names of the passengers and crew were read at 10:03 a.m., the moment the plane went down. And right here in Charlotte, students at several different schools are marking this somber anniversary by doing community service or attending assemblies. Over at Military and Global Leadership Academy, students learned about life before and after the attacks. They were told it's important to remember what happened, but it's more important to honor the victims. And one student said she learned giving back to the community is the best way to do that.
Volunteer at some troop organization or something, or maybe volunteer at cleaning up your community. I mean, just the simplest things that will help our community be stronger.
Students also held a silent roll call of people who died because of the attacks. Ceremonies, the victims were also remembered in Catawba County this morning. In Conover, where a piece of the World Trade Center is on display, dozens gathered for a somber ceremony. The folks there said it was important that no one forget what happened on this day and all the lives that were changed by the acts of terrorism. People were encouraged to view the section of steel beam that's on display and, in fact, touch a piece of history. Wow. Well, let's go outside, taking a live look at our tower cam. What a difference a week makes. Severe thunderstorms last week. Today, clear skies. We're going to turn to meteorologist Al Conklin in First Alert Weather. Hey, Al.
Well, Dedrick, we have clear skies in some areas. The key is, though, we have no rain anywhere, and that's probably not going to be the case for too much longer, but at least for a couple of more days. When we can expect our next chance for rain, Dedrick, and have that in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. We're following the crime alert for you. Police are asking for your help in identifying a man who held up a convenience store. Surveillance video caught him holding up a gun as he walked into the Circle K on the plaza last Tuesday. We are asking police if this man is the serial robber who also hit 11 11 stores in recent months. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 704-334-1600. A Charlotte man accused of threatening to kill President Obama is in federal custody this afternoon. 21-year-old Dante Sims appeared in federal court this morning. He was arrested last Wednesday after he tweeted he was going to assassinate President Obama. We took a look at Sims' Twitter account and saw that he sent out 5 threatening messages within a 14-minute span. New information this afternoon on the search for the driver who struck and killed a father of 9 in Chester County. Deputies say they have a rough description of the vehicle involved. They say a blue Nissan may have hit London Coleman as he was walking along Highway 99 around 4 Saturday morning. If you have any information, call the county sheriff's office or Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. A 3-year-old girl who police say was badly beaten by her stepfather is making progress in her recovery. Doctors say Kyla Davenport will go home later this week. Yesterday, doctors put a big piece of her skull back in place at Levine's Children's Hospital. 22-year-old Joshua Hauser is charged in the beating. He's in jail on $1 million bond. Kyla's grandmother says justice needs to be served.
He did a horrific act to my granddaughter, and he needs to answer for that.
The Davenport family is working with state officials to pass Kyla's law. It would call for a longer prison sentence for people who cause debilitating injuries to children. Indian Trail and Harrisburg have already passed resolutions. An athletic trainer at Vance High School is accused of having sex with a student. Police say 22-year-old Melinda Ilg worked with some of the sports teams at the school in Northeast Charlotte. She was released from jail after posting bond. Ig is also an athletic trainer with Carolina's Medical Center. Well, next at noon, the Secretary of Defense breaks his silence over a controversial book on the raid that killed Osama bin Laden. Plus, a new report suggests a plug-in hybrid has become a major financial burden for America's biggest automaker. Now here's a look at the 3 most viewed headlines on WBTV.com.
Get news, weather, and traffic information whenever you need it on WBTV.com.